It's Kim here, and in this video I'm going to show you the basics of DaVinci Resolve 15. So that's creating a new project, how to edit your clips, some transitions and text, and basic color grading. So let's begin by opening DaVinci and clicking New Project. Name it and hit Enter. You open up here and you don't know what's going on and panic starts to set in. But let's focus for a second. If you look at the bottom here, you'll see these symbols. Each symbol represents a different tab in DaVinci Resolve. There are 6, and in this video I'm going to focus on the 3 main ones you'll need. That's the Edit tab, the Color tab, and the Delivery tab. Let's start with the Edit. The Edit tab is split into 4 main windows. The Media window, which I can open and close here, the Media Preview window, the Timeline Viewer, and the Timeline. To start, you need to get media into your media pool. And you can do that by opening your File Explorer, finding your clips, and dragging them in. But wait, you get this pop-up. Why? You're going to want to hit Change. Because by doing this, you tell the project settings to match your shooting settings, which is the frame rate and aspect ratios. Now that there's media in the media pool, the next step is to get it into your timeline. The quickest way to do that is just to drag it in. Or we can double click on the thumbnail, which puts it into our preview window. This is great for watching a video before it goes in, and for marking your in and out points. What is that? Your in and out points allows you to select a specific portion of your clip to drag in. To do that, you just pause the video where you want the clip to start, and then hit I on the keyboard. Pause the clip where you want it to end, and hit O. Now, if you look at the timeline, only a portion is highlighted. So when I drag the clip in like this, I won't have the beginning and end of the clip. Note, when you hover over the window, you also get 2 symbols. One is just video and the other is just audio. So if I drag the video symbol, my clip will not have audio, and vice versa. Now let's move to the timeline. You can move around by dragging this slider, or by clicking the mouse wheel in and dragging it across. You can zoom in on your work over here, or if your cursor is over the timeline, you can just hold Alt and scroll the mouse wheel forward. If it's over your timestamps here and you Alt scroll, you'll slide from side to side. But it doesn't help if you don't know how to identify your clips. To make that easier, you click here on the timeline view options. It's best to hit here and here, which enlarges the clips and shows you a couple of frames, as well as the audio waveforms. Now let's show you some of the edit tools. This whole time we've been using the Selector tool, which allows us to move clips around the timeline. But if we go over to the edge of the clip, we can trim it back and forth, adjusting its duration. Next tool is the Blade tool. With this, we cannot move or trim the clips, only slice them by clicking on a point on the clip. You can delete clips by selecting them and hitting backspace in your keyboard. And that's basically all you need to start working with the timeline. Now let's close the media pool and open the effects window. Here is where we find all of our effects. I'm going to the video transitions and dragging just the default between 2 clips. This little block here represents the transition, and I can drag the edges to change where it starts and ends. Also in the effects is titles, and this is just a basic way of adding text to your video. You can just drag one of these options into your time and it appears like a video clip. If you click on your clip and then open the inspector window, it lets you adjust things like text, font, the style, color, and other stuff like size and position. You can also make adjustments by clicking on the text in your viewer and moving the points around. To undo all your changes, you can go up here to the master reset wheel. So let's say you want the text to move across the screen. All you have to do is go to the beginning of the clip and hit the keyframe diamond at the top, and you'll see all the diamonds turn orange. That means that keyframes are enabled. Next, move the text to where in the frame you want it to start, and let it play until you reach the point where you want it to end. Make the necessary changes on the inspector wheel and you'll notice that the diamonds turn orange again, creating another keyframe. You also get a little arrow which allows you to jump between your keyframes. Now let's say I want the text to hold in the middle for a bit, then go out to the other side. So all I need to do is go to my last keyframe, Let the clip play until I reach the point where I want it to start moving again, and hit the keyframe button, adding an identical keyframe. Then go to the end of the clip and move the text out of frame. You can also use keyframes on your video clips by selecting a clip and going to the inspector window. This has a lot more keyframing options like pitch and cropping. Feel free to mess around with those as well. Okay, that's it for the edit tab. Now to color. In this tab, I'm just going to show you some basic steps to take with the color wheels that will help improve just about any clip. The color tab is split into 4 main windows as well. There's the clip viewer, which plays the current clip you're working on, the node table, which stores your grade, the edit tools, which you can swap between, and the scopes window. Let's start here. The scopes are a graph representation of your clip. The darkest point of the image will be closest to 0, and the brightest part closest to the top. Over on the color wheels, we have 4 things we can adjust. That's lift, gamma, gain, and offset. We do not need to worry about offset. To make adjustments, you just go down here to the master wheel and click and drag. Before we start grading, let's talk about what adjusting each wheel will do to our image. Lift, adjust the darkest parts of our image. Gain, the brightest, and gamma, everything in between. Note how the waveform changes when we make our adjustments. Lift moves the lowest part of the graph, gain the highest, and offset everything in between. We start with lift. You generally want to lower it to create a solid black color in your image. Then you go over to the gain. Watch your waveform for this and make sure it doesn't reach the top of the graph. This would make your image overexposed. And finally, raise your gamma, just a bit, brightening your overall image. So that's simple. First lift, then gain, then gamma. You can see a before and after by going up to the node table and clicking the number at the bottom left, which hides and unhides your grade. You can also go to these settings here at the bottom, where you can adjust things like saturation and contrast, but we'll cover that in another video. Note, to reset changes here, you double click on the name of the setting. And that's it for grading. All we have to do now is export. To do that, we go here to the delivery page. And immediately on the left, we have our render settings. What you want to do is hit the drop down next to YouTube and select 1080p. Change your file name, file location, and format. Best to just go with MP4. Once you're done with that, click Add to Render Queue. It'll pop up on the right here. Click Start Render, and Bob's your uncle. So yeah, guys, I guess that's the basics of DaVinci Resolve 15. I hope this was easy to follow and okay to understand. This is kind of my first tutorial video. So yeah, I really want to do another one for just doing more about the color tab, because DaVinci Resolve's color is insane. And yeah, have a good one.